What do you got in the background there? That MS-078 goof?
Yeah. So now that I have all of the stuff, my job is to go back and like panel line and stuff. And now that I like know more of what I'm doing, I can see like the mistakes that I've made when I'm trying to like panel line and things like that. And it makes me hate it. And so now it's like, well, shit, I need to get these little nubs because I didn't clip this off well. I need to get this off because when I tried to panel line it and it's a little imperfection, all of the paint went into this part and I can't like rub it off. So I need to sand it off. So I ordered a bunch of like super high grit hobby sandpaper blocks that are not going to get here for a couple days. So I'm like, shit. And then I'm just going to have to completely disassemble the goof to to fix that properly.
Ash, if it were perfect, it wouldn't be a goof.
Right. But like I have so much room more. I've finally gone through all of like 0079. So I like know where the goof is from. And I have so much respect for that mobile suit and its pilot. So yeah.
You're full on in the goof troop is what you're saying.
I am in the goof troop. That is a thing.
Gorsh.
Who's ready to do a show?
About Goof Troop? Let's go.
We always stick together. Use R to prevent the world's collapse. This is issue 405 of the Insert Credit Show, where my panel of video game experts addresses topics of my choosing in 6-minute intervals as delineated by a horrible buzzer. Who am I? Why, I'm Alex Jaffe. And you should care about what I have to say because I spend more time thinking about how to ask interesting questions about video games than the majority of people on Earth.
My name is Frank Sfaldi, and you actually shouldn't care what I have to say. You should think for yourself and only consider the opinions of others, including myself, even though my opinions are universally correct.
I wrote it again.
I'm Ash Parrish, and you should not care about anything I have to say except as it relates to two things: how you prepare your collard greens and Forspoken, and how you should play Forspoken. Those two things you should definitely listen to me on.
Okay, are we going to pause for the collard greens now or after the next intro?
I will introduce myself for our Thanksgiving episode with the full recipe. Remind me, Jeffy.
Wow. Okay,
I will.
Okay.
I'm making a note of that right here.
Stay tuned, folks at home. Collard green preparation. I'm Brandon Sheffield. I like collard greens.
That's not what the prompt was.
I'm looking forward to finding out about that. You should listen to me about what games are good on the PC Engine and the Saturn. Other than that, take what you will. Take what you will. I got some good opinions. I got some bad opinions. It's hard to be sure.
In an average show, we get both of them.
I have a question for you, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
How complete is your vegetarianism? Can you like consume
100%.
things that was prepared with like meat byproduct? I'm asking because that means do I have to make a separate batch of greens for you, or can you eat the ones that I make? I'll just make sure that you don't get any braised pork in it. That's all.
Oh yeah, no, if it was cooked in it, then I can't eat it. Yeah,
I don't think there's a form of vegetarianism where pork juice is okay.
Lax, non-vegetarian.
So like things made with like chicken stock, you can't eat those?
No,
that's correct.
No.
That would make it hard to eat things. Because everything, even if it's not vegetarian, it's like prepared with like a chicken stock or something, right?
No, it isn't.
No? Am I wrong? Okay.
One other reason I live in California, it's very easy, but it is very funny. I've told the story before about being in Korea and at an Italian restaurant, and my friend speaking to the chef was like, he can't have any meat products, no meat products. It was for quite a while very hard in Korea. It's easier in Seoul now than it used to be, but he's like, nothing. He's allergic to it. You can't give it to him. And so I ordered a plain pasta with butter because I was like, I don't trust that it's gonna be. I got a plain pasta with butter. I take one bite and I'm like, this has meat in it. And they're like, no, And the waiter comes by and he's like, I noticed you didn't eat any of your food. Is there something wrong with it? And I was like, I don't want to make a big deal. It's just that there's meat in it. And they're like, no, there isn't. I'm going to go talk to the chef. He goes back and he talks to the chef. And the chef is like, no, there's no meat. And then after some back and forth, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I again, don't want to make a big deal. There just is. I know when there is because it makes me sick right away. So, and they're like, well, but of course we cooked it in chicken stock to make it more delicious.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I was like, yeah, well, I can't eat that.
You'll have to pardon my ignorance on that. I for some reason thought, chicken stock is fine. We get all that out of powder in boxes anyway. There's no meat in that.
Yeah, there's meat in it, and it's very funny. You go to Shanghai and pretty much all over China, and if like order a vegetarian thing, and there will be like little bits of ground up pork in there, and you'd be like, there's meat in this, and they'll be like, but it's only small.
It's not the quantity.
Tiny.
It's the presence.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's no big deal. Anyway, yeah.
There is such a thing as a porcitarian, which are people who only eat non-ruminant animals. So pork would qualify, but beef wouldn't. But
That's weird.
I think that's far from vegetarianism.
Who are these people?
A very thin sliver of humanity, but it is a mistake to say nobody includes pork in the vegetarian
actually,
diet.
I know exactly who it is. It's the extreme, weird, obnoxious person that you used to see on Twitter who was like, I'm a vegetarian except for bacon.
Right.
That's
exactly who it is.
That's who it is.
That is the porcitarian. We have defined them.
Freaking weird.
Elon Musk is a porcitarian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we've solved that mystery. Now we can move on to video games. Here is my first question. How do you pick a video game release date?
Okay.
Close your
so
eyes.
This is about Demon School's date having been moved. And what happened was we picked a release date. Sorry if people are tired of hearing about all this kind of stuff. Maybe you like the back end, the other side of the game industry. We picked a release date, and as most do, if you're trying to sell it, around not having competitors near you. And we do this by looking at what release dates are known, but also by talking to our publisher friends, our indie game friends, talking to everybody to be like, if I come out now at this date, are you going to have something there? And so, like mail the Hades 2 devs and be like, you're going to drop something right now? Because I just want to make sure that we're not stepping in each other's way. Like we do that. And that's how we chose September 3rd initially as our date. It was a good spot for us. And then Hollow Knight Silksong came along and decided to announce their release date without much notice and without checking with anybody. And so that winds up, everybody had to move because it's basically the GTA of indie games. Like some people were saying, but it's not such a big deal because you're an RPG and they're a Metroidvania and it's like a different thing. And to some extent, I agree. And in fact, I did want to stay in our release date. I wanted to actually delay to September 4th, which was Hollow Knight's release date, announce a delay and say that we were going to release it on the same day as them.
That would have been very funny.
After careful consideration, whatever, stupid nonsense. That would have been probably really dumb. But it would have been funny. Anywho, the thing that happens if you launch alongside Silksong, and there basically isn't another game that's going to come along that's going to be as bad as this, is there's no way that you will be the indie game of the week. You won't be the point of discussion for that week, because regardless of how much people wind up liking Silksong, the fact that it is like the most wishlisted game on Steam, the fact that whenever there's any kind of direct or digital showcase, everyone's just spamming Silksong into the chat. The fact that within 4 hours their release date announce trailer got 2 million views. It's over 4 now. It just means that you are not going to be the point of discussion. And when you've worked on a game for a lot of years, you want people to play it, and you just won't catch the peripheral people that are vaguely interested in video game in indie games if you launch next to them.
You're competing for $25 of video game.
Yeah, and there were a lot of people that were like, yeah, I could buy 2 video games, which I believe is possible. I think people can buy 2 video games in 1 week. I believe people can think about more than one game at a time, but I also understand why.
Say I'm a dreamer.
That's right. Why the publisher wanted to move and why we did move. And then, but what then winds up being silly is like, okay, where do we move? We wound up moving more than 2 months down the road. And the reason is, okay, we were September 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
If we delay 2 weeks to get out of Silk Song's way, now we are basically on top of Silent Hill F, which is like a spooky game that's going to get a lot of mind share. And then 1 week after that is Final Fantasy Tactics. Then
Right.
you look at October, the entirety of October is sequels of games you've heard of. It's just like, or re-releases of games you've heard of. And it's like, yeah, there's a Ninja Gaiden, there's a Pokemon, there's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if that weren't the case, I think 4 weeks minimum after Final Fantasy Tactics.
And
Yeah.
you're going to be too busy
Yeah.
planning your Halloween costume to really work
like
on the video game.
that's right. The thing with Final Fantasy Tactics is it is our most worrying competitor, but it's likely that I think a lot of people are going to buy it and then maybe not play through the whole thing. Like they're going to play it for a little
absolutely.
while because it's not like, it's old. They want to
Yes.
see kind of what's new. Some people are going to be playing it new for the first time, but it's going to be a lot of like, now I have it. But yeah, so October was rough, and so then you get into November, and now we got into the middle of November, and that's what we had to choose. But it feels weird to be like, okay, the game's basically done. Now we're moving it 2 months.
Yeah.
It's strange. But we did have more stuff that we could do, like more stuff we were going to put in the game after for free that we can put in now for launch, and a bunch more polish and quality of life type stuff. So it'll be good. It'll be good for the game. Also, we can slow down. We don't have to work as ridiculously. I might do things like get my car fixed and go to the doctor, which I was waiting for an opportunity to do those things. So yeah, but the short answer is you choose it by looking at what everyone else is doing and trying to carve out your own little zone. And there are some months like October where that's impossible, and others where it is possible. And you just can't predict what's going to happen. But, even if Slay the Spire 2 decides to come out, even if Hades 2 goes into full release around our time, I don't know any of these things, by the way, then we would be better off than launching next to cultural phenomenon of Silksong.
I am curious about how that decision is made in relationship between publisher and developer. Was it a conversation you had? Was it a directive you got? Can you even talk about it?
In our case, it was a conversation. I think in most cases, it's a directive. We have a weird relationship with our publisher because I'm so used to doing everything by myself in terms of like marketing and getting into showcases and planning things and whatever. And I have a lot of experience doing it. And for Demon School, I did do a lot of it. And so we kind of share those responsibilities between me and Yisprid, our publisher. And so when it comes to stuff like this, it is a conversation. But ultimately, I was like, ultimately, it's your choice. This is, you're the publisher. It's your money. Because they're going to fund us through the delay as well.
That's nice.
Yeah. And they're a good partner in general. I think most publishers would just be like, "This is what we're doing." Surprise! So it's nice to be able to have the conversation.
All right, Ash, it's your turn to talk now because you've been getting heavy into gunpla lately.
Oh.
I'd like to ask the panel: is there anything from a video game that you think would be similarly interesting to build in your house?
Similarly interesting to gunpla?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, what's something from a video game you'd want to build with your hands?
but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a model, right?
It doesn't have to be a model. It doesn't have to be a robot, but it's the same, like, fiddly construction.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any kind of analog to that in video games. And I mean, there's, Minecraft, obviously, but I can't think of anything that involves like fiddly construction.
I feel like cosplayers do this every day, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
They make their big swords, and they make their head pieces, and they make their bodice pieces and whatever, and they're all very bespoke and particular. It's fun to watch Zoe Quinn do that. She's always like sanding a sword down and being like, "Look, glint, glint." It's very nice.
I can't think of anything. Building a video game would be the thing. So that's more of your mind than your hand, I guess.
You got typing.
Yeah, there's a lot of typing.
Yeah.
A lot of
I feel like that
numbers,
would.
a lot of values.
Yeah, too much math, not enough snap.
Most of those values are woke, though.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's no good tactile feeling of like snapping two pieces together that I can think of in a video game.
Rob the robot. It's not very tactile.
I think that's a big part of like Tears of the Kingdom, like building out these
Oh yeah,
constructs.
that's true. I think I was talking online on Blue Sky about this. Like the thing that I don't consider myself to be a very good visual artist. I don't think I have a lot of visual creativity. Like I don't think of myself as an artist. We can have a discussion about writing another time, but I just don't think of myself as an artist. And the way that my brain works, I work best following rules. And the reason why Gunpla hits so well for me is because you can make this artistic looking thing by following rules. You got a big ass instruction sheet that tells you insert tab A in slot B. And you do that enough times with this very satisfying click noise, you can get like a little guy that you can paint and keep in your house. And that's why this has worked for me in ways that trying to learn how to draw or trying to learn how to model something in a computer program to, do whatever that kind of thing is, has never worked for me or never like inspired the same kind of creativity and like rabid devotion the way Gunpla has. And I don't think, at least for me, or I just can't think of it, I don't think there's a good digital analog to that,
Yeah. Well, I think the question was, what from a video game would we like to build with our actual hands in real life? I used to do the little Warhammer 40K model guys. I didn't play the game at all, but I built those fellas. And I quickly went from like building a couple normal ones to chopping them in half and like extending their bodies and having like 4 arms and a gun coming out of your forehead and stuff. It's because it gets boring, but I stopped doing it. I used to make little robots, little Gundam fellas in my youth, but then I stopped. I think for me with those kinds of tasks these days, I want a full brainless one where I'm just like washing records, where I'm just like removing labels from things that I purchased, just like truly brain off, nothing's going on, just an empty windswept scape through my brain.
That's why I frequently flirt with the idea of getting a retail job, working as a cashier, because I can just beep.
No, but then you got to deal with people being like, I actually bought this yesterday.
No, what you want is a job shelving stuff, like at a library.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Well,
that's
the thing is,
backbreaking,
I got a night job when I was really young at a video store that I absolutely did not need. I just had some time and energy, and I got a night job at a Hollywood video. And even the customer stuff is fine if you don't need that job at all.
Exactly.
So
kind of your approach to this podcast, Frank.
So Ash, you're actually right. Like if you got that job but just didn't need it, you just kind of got it as like a hobby. It's actually kind of fun. I've done it. But to answer the question, I often think it would be fun to crochet or knit good sprite art. Just very
that would
carefully doing one pixel at a time.
That very neatly brings me into my next question. I want to know who do you think does the best sprite work in video games?
Boy, that's a big one. There's a lot of good ones. Hank Nieborg is a good one. My buddy Gustav Samuelson.
Brandon goes straight for like names of people.
Right.
Instead
Can you
of
say
games.
some of the things they've worked on, please?
Hank Nieborg I might be saying his name a little wrong. That's the best I got. He worked on Battle Axe recently, but he's been in it since the Amiga days. I said Amiga this time. He's one of those really high detail, not necessarily high color kind of artists who makes things that are like really round in that you're rounded in that European way. He's really good. Gustav Samuelson is someone who I like a lot. He's worked with us on Oh Dear and Hypergun Sport and also Demon School. But his personal art is a lot of like, it's almost like horror or metal band posters done with pixel art. He has a style where he works in MS Paint and does a lot of blobs and then kind of like chips away at it until the thing is there, which is kind of neat. Paul Robertson is one of the best animators in the biz. He does all of those like crazy hyper detailed animations. He had a Simpsons bumper or Simpsons intro, and he did Adult Swim bumpers and stuff.
I remember that.
Yeah, he's really extremely good. Catherine on our team, she does really excellent high-res 2D avatars, which are really good and neat. She also did those Metal Gear Solid 5, I think, animated GIFs that went around. They were all over Tumblr for a while. They were really good. She's got a good, unique style, I think. Junk Boy. Junk Boy was the art director for Minecraft for quite a long time, but his illustrations are very influenced by an artist called Cannabis, who did the character designs for Linda Cube and a bunch of other things. But his like mock-ups of he does like a lot of demakes, like mock-up demakes of things that look just you immediately want to play those video games that he does. He also did helped us a bit with Demon School early on. Those are some of my initial there's what's his name? Chicky Sprite is his handle. What is his name? I forget. There's a lot of good ones. I could keep. I'll let somebody else talk.
Yeah, Frank, what are your favorite?
I don't know that
words?
Ash or I have anything to add to that.
And so, like, okay, I was gonna play along, and because there's a guy that I follow on Blue Sky who does pixel art, and now I can't find him, but he does pixel art on Blue Sky, but he also makes his own game. I don't know if you've ever seen him on your feed before, Brandon. I hope you have. But he makes the little corgi beat 'em up. Like it's a little it's like an upright corgi with a little bandana on, and it's like a fighting game or like a beat 'em up game. Have you ever seen that game before? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do you know what it's called?
I don't remember.
That guy, like the guy who's making that game, like he has really good pixel art. And I was going to put that forth, but I can't think of his name now. If I try to Google corgi beat 'em up, it's not a released game.
Is it Proto Corgi?
No.
All right. It's a different corgi.
Breeze in the clouds. Breeze in the clouds.
All right.
I'll do a couple older ones. When I tend to appreciate pixel art, I tend to appreciate people playing with the way that analog displays messed with color. And so, like, I appreciate modern pixel art as well, where you know the point is to see the razor sharp pixels next to each other, and they don't really bleed or blend, but my sort of mental database is more skewed toward the people who do a good job of creating the illusion of more than is there. So my two favorite pixel artists from back in the day would be Jim Sachs, who did, among other things, Defender on the Crown on the Amiga. If you look up Defender of the Crown on the Amiga, you will not believe that there are only 32 colors, but I swear there are. And then the other one would be Mark Ferrari, who was kind of contemporary with him. And Mark was really good at EGA palettes, which was only 16 terrible colors on the computer. And his backgrounds in Loom in particular are remarkable. The EGA version of then Monkey Island as well. He did a lot of the backgrounds on. But he's really good at creating the illusion of additional color through dithering. I consider him kind of a dithering master.
Yeah,
we did a lot of dithering on the Genesis in the older days. Two more modern ones I wanted to mention are Simon Anderson, who is the Owlboy
yes,
artist.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah,
yeah. And Kokefi, aka Chicky Sprout, that was the other one that I was looking for, who does all these beautiful little dioramas that just make you want to live there with them. But then if we talk about like older stuff, there's the guy who led the Metal Slug games, which is just like so influential to everybody. There's Street Fighter Zero series, which was like lower color counts, but really personable animation. And then there's Street Fighter 3, which is just ridiculous. Just like how many frames can you do?
Well, I mean, that's the power, I think, of rotoscoping too. I think there's a lot of rotoscoping in Street Fighter 3.
Okay.
We're out of time.
I was going to say, like, I found the name of the guy. His name is Sir Billion. He's on Blue Sky, SRBILYON. Another pixel artist I wanted to put forth, because I just thought of her now. Temi Chang, the Undertale 2D artist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great work there. For this next one, I'm going to need Ash and Frank in particular to lock in.
Oh, God.
In the spirit of one of Frank's most treasured video games, Where in North Dakota is Carmen Sandiego? I'd like the panel to now design Where in Ohio is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh, man. I don't know anything about Ohio.
I don't know where Ohio is.
Most people don't.
That way.
Yeah. I mean, I know generally everything's east of where I am.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Exactly.
I get that
it's
part.
to the east. Yeah, that is the way I was pointing.
Right. What I had in mind was that you would share the features of the game, Frank, and Ash would share her specialized knowledge for us to collaborate.
Wouldn't it be fun if we reverse those roles, though? So,
well, because I was going to ask Frank, like, what is she doing in North Dakota? Like, is it just like the same thing as the other Border Bun gang, where it's like where in the world?
It's the same thing. So,
okay.
Have you played?
But hyper localized.
Yes.
So
that same Apple IIe game. Yes.
Instead of famous cities and their landmarks, like Paris and the Eiffel Tower being stolen, it's I believe 49 counties in North Dakota and their defining features, which they really scraped to like find something in like literally like a county of like 200 people. It's like there's a cow statue.
But there's 1,000 lakes. They can't figure something out with that. Isn't that the land of 1,000 lakes?
There's like Devil's Lake, home of the School for the Deaf in North Dakota. I know some North Dakota stuff.
I assume they didn't just want her to be at like a different lake every day. Now she's at this lake.
In which lake is Carmen Sandiego?
Yes.
Yeah. Once you're past like Minot and Fargo, there's just kind of nothing. And I've been to Minot, and there are 3 restaurants, so it's pretty dire.
Okay, so I live in Ohio, guys. There's not much here to steal.
Can I say my Ohio stuff that I know?
Yes,
please.
I would love to hear this.
Howard the Duck, based in Cleveland, and my sister's in Columbus.
Oh, nice.
That's all I got. Oh, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Drew Carey,
not from here.
Ohio,
Cleveland rocks.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
Drew Carey show.
Drew Carey show.
For the Ohio celebrities, then, who do you claim?
Devo. Claim the hell out of Devo.
Yeah, okay. I could see Carmen Sandiego stealing those like layered flower pot hats.
I actually have to check if Drew Carey is from Ohio. I don't think he is.
You were very adamant that he's not. Like, nah,
I didn't think he was. Oh, he was born here. Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. Drew Carey, then. So she steals the free stamp, which is I think in front of a courthouse. She steals the horseshoe, which is the Ohio State stadium. You have to mention Ohio State. She steals a Buckeye tree.
Is there like a big guitar outside of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something?
They have, like how cities do these weird installations of these statues, like a cow statue, and it's painted one way, and there's another cow statue, and it's painted. They do that with guitars all around, like Northeast Ohio. It's not a big deal. I would rank the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, honestly, as something worth stealing.
She steals Chief Wahoo, and the chief is like, actually, let her keep that.
No, they could steal like the like one of the gold records in there or something. You know,
I don't
Jimi Hendrix's guitar or something.
Maybe. Speaking of Alex, you reminded me the Guardian Bridge. So the Cleveland baseball team was famously known as the Indians for like a few years, forever, until like a couple years ago, and it changed to the Guardians, which is actually really cool because it's like based off of this transportation bridge that we have where they're like the guardians of different forms of transportations. So you've got this like Art Deco dude holding a covered wagon, and he's like the patron saint of covered wagons and shit. So you can steal like those Guardian statues because they're actually really cool.
I want to hear some deep cuts. I want to hear some weird nonsense.
Yeah, give me some cow statues.
Oh, you can steal the Hell is Real billboard, but I think they have that in like Indiana too, so maybe that's not cool. Like not very unique to Ohio. Like that's all across the Midwest, like in like the super prairie states. So like Ohio and Indiana maybe bits of Pennsylvania, but Pennsylvania is a bit cooler than Ohio and the other states. But they all have like a hell is real billboard. God, what else? I don't know, bro. I live here, yeah. But like, there's not shit here. I can't even do like Columbus and Cincinnati. So I'm sorry.
How would you, in a video game, communicate why the Ohio flag looks like that?
I don't know, because I frequently confuse it for the Puerto Rican flag. Like, if you have to put up pictures of both of them, and imagine like the Ohio flag wrapped up, like it got like twisted around its flagpole or whatever. Looking at it, it looks like the Puerto Rican flag. And I'm thinking, my neighbors have an Ohio flag out in front. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize those neighbors were Puerto Rican, because I thought it was a Puerto Rican flag. And then it unfurled. I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah, it's got that triangle cut out.
Yeah.
That's the part Carmen Sandiego stole.
It's apparently a prominent disc in the flag's triangular canton is suggestive of the state's name because it's an O.
Yeah, but why does it look like that with like the divot cut out of it?
I think it's cool. Like,
yeah, it's
honest
cool,
to God,
but who made that choice?
I don't know, but like they were doing this whole thing of like ranking the state flags. And Ohio, I think, was high. And I was like, okay, that's cool because it's like a unique shape. But I actually, because I'm from Indiana, that's where I lived for most of my life. I think the Indiana flag is cool. Like, it's different colors. It's not red, white, and blue. It doesn't have stripes. I like it. I'm just saying.
Ohio pride. We can carry that with us into the break.
Ash, you did a miserable job presenting Ohio. Thank you.
Yeah. It really did not sound like you care about Ohio very much.
I do, though. I do so much. You guys, no, you don't
steal
understand.
The high-level bridge in Toledo. You could steal the Bobcat from the Athens Bobcat Stadium.
I'm not from here.
I am aware at this moment. Very, very aware.
Welcome back to Insert Credit. It's time to go to the question hole. This is the part of every episode where we take one of the questions submitted to us at patreon.com/insertcredit, where you listening can, just for mere dollars a month, send us those questions through a form that is readily available there, get monthly bonus episodes, and other fun and sexy surprises. This week's question comes from Terapixel, who asks, have video game controllers been solved? In other words, is there a shape, button layout, etc. that is the one? Excepting, of course, for folks who need more accessible controllers. Think about a controller that you can use comfortably held up using both hands.
No, because they haven't even figured out the damn controllers now. Why is it that I have such a freaking hard time going from an Xbox to a PlayStation? Because the damn buttons are all freaking different and laid out different. The X button on the Xbox is on the side and it's on the bottom on the PlayStation, and they do different things. And I want to push the bottom button. Always the action button. And it's not always. And then on the fucking Nintendo, it's like Y or B or whatever the shit. No, they haven't even fucking figured out regular controllers. So no, we have not solved them. We need standardized across all of them. I'm sorry.
Well, you can't because of
laws.
What's that stuff?
Figure it the fuck out.
Patents. I do think that we've, aside from button layout, which I will agree is a mess, we've basically figured out the form factor. I do think that this, like, PlayStation, Xboxy, you hold the two grips.
Yeah.
It's basic. Like, there's different configurations. Obviously, PlayStation has the analog sticks next to each other, and Xbox has them offset. What's weird is I don't have any problem switching between those. Like, it doesn't do anything to my brain at all. Like, switching where the D-pad and the analog are on the left, it does nothing.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
It's so weird that doesn't bother me. It feels like it should, but I just, like, instantly I'm fine with both.
Well, it's like it's like putting your two thumbs on the two. Is it concave or convex when it's in? Whatever.
It's concave when it's in.
So yeah. the two concave nubs, it's like putting your fingers on home row. You know, you just find it, and it's like that's where it goes.
Yeah.
How many kids listening to our podcast know what home row is?
They should know.
I think enough.
Yeah.
Is typing not taught anymore?
It's not how they teach typing anymore?
No. Yeah. I don't think they teach typing anymore. If you were born with a 2 in your year, write us in at show@insertcredit.com and let us know.
We've got at least a few of those.
Yeah, you were taught typing.
This is that Mavis Beacon conversation all over again.
Yeah.
It is. I also think that
Save us, Mavis.
it's weird because we've had like two major solves. One is, the analog controller, which is the PlayStation, Xbox One, and the other is the digital / fighting game controller, which is the Saturn controller. Like it has there may be further innovations there, but everyone has basically decided that the Saturn controller is the best digital like orientation, or like digital is the wrong word for 2D games. It's the Saturn with the 6 buttons for fighting games. Like that's.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I am. Well, the reason I am is because that's what keeps getting remade. Anytime someone's like, we made a controller for 2D games, it's like, and we made it as close to the Saturn pad as possible. Maybe there's better, but that's what
just the pad itself or the controller, because I think
it's the pad and the shape.
The button layout is just not for me at all.
Maybe you can show me a picture of what you're talking about, because when I think of digital controllers that are not fight sticks for fighting games, most people on that Evo stage are using a PlayStation controller. Well, I guess that's all my PlayStation.
Well, that's an analog controller. So I'm talking about like here. I'll show you.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's where I got hung up because I wasn't sure what it was you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about like a controller specifically for 2D games, no analog anything on it. This is the form factor that people continue to come back to. The slight boomerang shape, D-pad on the left, 6 buttons on the right, shoulder buttons.
And I wonder if this is the form factor they choose because this is easy to like put on your lap and then put your hand like this on it instead of using your thumbs.
It is definitely for like it's good for the finger tappers that play almost stick style.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, have we perfected the controller? I don't know. Have we made a controller that can make the most kinds of games without switching controllers? I think so.
Yeah.
But it doesn't play all games not made for it the best, right? So I don't like. I mean, I play almost everything on an Xbox One Elite controller, actually, and it is great. Until I don't play fighting games, but sometimes I want to play it like an arcade game where the original form factor had your 3 fingers on 3 buttons.
Yeah.
And there just isn't a comfortable way to do that on an Xbox. Well, you can, have your thumb on 2 buttons and then have the trigger or whatever, but sometimes you just can't wire your brain to play that game that way. And so that's the only weakness of it. But again, we're talking about like it doesn't play previous games well. At this point, all games are made to feel very comfortable on these controllers, and I wouldn't mess with it.
I got a Power A Fusion right here. I realized this was just sitting next to me. This is
That's Saturn.
This is a fighting game oriented pad. But it is it's just the Saturn. It's just the Saturn pad, but it has PlayStation buttons on it.
We're out of time.
I would say that really quick, the only thing that people have done with that form factor is just add more stuff to it, like touchpad on the front and little tickles on the bottom or whatever, and
rear touch.
That's
on the Vita.
Rear tickle, as it's called. Yeah.
All
rear
right.
touch. I can't believe they went and called it rear touch.
Rear touch, right?
We're just gonna call this rear touch, and then we're never going to use it.
Everyone's going to be cool about it.
Yeah.
What elements of a game should be opaque or invisible to the player?
The entire game.
Yeah, the fact that you are playing a game.
Yeah.
I am split on this. I feel like there's a lot of things that are good to hide, but there's a lot of things that should be transparent or are more interesting when they're transparent. Like, for example, something that should not be opaque is unless this is the very specific game you're making, indications of damage in an action game. You should be able to see it. That should be very clear. In fact, it's even nice if numbers come out and then you know exactly how much damage you did, because otherwise it can be frustrating unless that's not having damage indicators is the point of the game and you show it some other way or whatever. So yeah, it's a weird one for me. There's like, I'm struggling to think of what I prefer to not know. So I like to know a lot of stuff.
Well, it's what elements of game development? Was that the question?
What parts of a video game should be opaque or invisible to the player?
So we're talking consumer facing here.
That is super dependent upon the type of game.
Isn't it?
Like, I mean, my problem with Animal Crossing is that I can see the spreadsheet. And I don't think that they hide that well enough. So, in that kind of game, I think that should be completely invisible to the player. I should be fooled into thinking that there's a random chance or something like that to get what I want, as opposed to it continuing to lure me with a carrot.
Yeah, video games are very good at fooling you, and I like when they do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to do now. Because especially if you play enough of them, you can see, okay, I can tell where this turns and I know where that turns. I know what to expect.
I mean, I went and revisited just the first chapter of The Walking Dead kind of recently, just to see and it's like, yeah, this is actually a really nice magic trick where it does feel like I'm making hard decisions, but I'm not making decisions at all.
Yeah. I think that stuff is pretty good. Eternites is a game that I played last year or the year before, I forget which, where they had a pretty small team and they tried to do a lot of really ambitious stuff, and they just hit it with like, you can't see beyond these walls, and so the backgrounds don't exist. They're just not there. There's just nothing. And that really helped the game to feel bigger because they didn't have the budget to do all that, and they hit it pretty well. But then when you got like Call of Duty single player campaign, and you got guys making videos about how you don't even have to do anything because all of your squad mates will just kill all the guys for you. They could hide that kind of stuff better somehow, probably just by letting you die or making it less cinematic. Maybe it would feel a little more natural. It's an interesting question, but it does really come down to the game.
I get that it's hard, but it still blows my mind when I find invisible walls.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how is this still a thing?
Well, I can't get over this chair.
Yeah.
Obviously, I just killed all these zombies, but I can't get past this chair. That's really gonna stop me going upstairs.
Too high, man.
Yeah. Leon just gets depressed when he sees a chair. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to."
He had a bad experience once jumping over a chair, and once he sees it, like, never again.
Yeah. No invisible walls. Make all walls visible, unless they're behind you.
I don't know what you should not see. Fog of Wars are great. I like Fog of War in explorations games.
Yeah, me too.
Because it makes me want to, like, uncover it. But it also makes me want to uncover it, and that means I'll get frustrated if there is something that I can't uncover, and it is not immediately clear how I uncover it.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I had deep water exploration for my ship's civilization. Why can't I cross the ocean? Damn it.
Sometimes I wonder if invisible walls, not invisible, but so I'm playing Clair Obscur, or I'm going to be getting back into playing Clair Obscur, and you can jump onto rocks, like in the edges of your corridors that you're going down, and it keeps feeling like, I bet I could get over there, but you can't, because there's invisible walls, but only after a certain point. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, just give me some like weird miasma that's closer so I can't even interact with that stuff, so I don't feel like I can jump on it.
I legitimately think that is maybe the biggest weakness of that game, is that I can't tell where the maps end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my friend was like, I'm interested in playing this game, but I'm worried, like, they don't try to do like French humor, do they? Because French humor, like, I really don't like French humor. And I was like, well, they have little jokes and stuff, but it's not like Frenchy French. But I hadn't gotten to the Minions village yet.
Oh, God.
When I told him that. And then
is that
later I was
French
like,
humor?
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Minions,
okay.
Rabbids, that's
Minions and Rabbids are French. Yeah.
That's French as heck. Yeah.
They like little guys that are annoying as shit?
Yeah,
that's why Jerry Lewis was so popular there.
That's right.
Jerry Lewis was really the first minion. Hoiven Maven Banana.
Oh, Flavin. Yeah. Nice lady. Yeah.
I'm going to reveal something about me. I did not know that like affectation was attributed to Jerry Lewis. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. I just thought that was like, New York Jewish person. I just, everybody does it.
No, it's one specific guy.
You'll never see Freakazoid the same again.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like how a bunch of gay stereotypes are unlocked for you once you find out who Truman Capote is. Kind of the same deal.
Oh, I don't know who he is. I mean, I know who he is, but I've never like seen the movie with what's his name or read In Cold Blood. So I'm sorry. There are a lot of things that I feel like I should know that I do not know.
I love all of the like Ash Learns segments on this today's
This is
episode.
first and foremost an educational program.
I learned
It's
so
basically
much.
Sesame Street. All right, here's my next
anyway,
question.
there's a lot of minions in there.
Yeah. Who is the Jackie Chan of video games?
What does that mean?
Boy, okay. Jackie Chan. So he's had 3, in my opinion, distinct phases of his career. The first one is they were looking for a new Bruce Lee, and he was charismatic. And so the first phase of his career, which is not the most popular phase of his career,
But it had the best movies.
he was doing really straight martial arts movies. So like Crane and Eagle Shadow and these kinds of movies that aren't traditionally what you think about when you think of Jackie Chan. They're really straight martial arts movies. Then he transitions into the physical comedy over kung fu performance kind of thing where he's like utilizing the environment, and this is like the golden era Jackie Chan. And then the third phase is simultaneously trying to become more serious and waning popularity. And that's what he's been in basically since like mid 2000s.
Rush Hour 3.
Like after his Hollywood successes, then he went back to China, not even Hong Kong, and started doing mediocre movies, just a bunch of mediocre movies. He did his 100th movie with his son, who's like the ultimate fail son. He's just like really bad at everything, and it was his lowest grossing movie of all time.
Oh, the one where he's like secretly, the one that came out where he's like fighting people in Britain, and he's like is tied to like the Vietnam. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know that one.
Yeah, like that one was pretty bad.
I got fooled completely recently. I purchased a Blu-ray of The Forbidden Kingdom, and on the front it's got Jackie Chan and Jet Li, and I'm like, how have I not seen the movie where Jackie Chan and Jet Li are together? And then I remembered because I watched the trailer and I'm like, oh no, it's all about them teaching this white guy how to be good at kung fu so he can have sex with an Asian girl.
Oh God.
It's like, and you know, you look at the box and he's nowhere. That guy is nowhere on it, but the whole movie is about him, and it's just like, this is like somebody's nephew. Like it's gotta be. That movie sucks. Anyway, who's the Jackie Chan of
video games?
We still haven't defined our term.
Well, I was trying to
say
his phases.
Brandon defined Jackie Chan by phases. I would define him by consistency across like many, many works.
Okay.
You kind of know what you're getting into with a Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah. And even if the movie's going to be bad, at least Jackie Chan's in it. So I feel like he's still got goodwill, even if he's been making bad movies for the last 20 years.
Well, I would say it's more specifically like a Jackie Chan thing will happen. Like if you go to a Jackie Chan movie, he will do a Jackie Chan thing, and you can point at the screen and go Jackie Chan thing.
Yeah, he did it.
What's a Jackie Chan thing, though?
I don't know, like a funny stunt that.
Yeah.
What
I think of when I think of Jackie Chan is like mind-boggling perfectionism applied to something kind of goofy.
Yeah. He's this era's Buster Keaton, really.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like he's Chinese Buster Keaton.
Yes,
very much so.
So like eating cereal on a tightrope or something.
Doing something.
I wouldn't think of that of Jackie Chan.
Full ridiculous. He could do it.
He
could. Maybe not anymore. So who's?
I'm gonna go Super Mario. Like Super Mario, unless you count the really early weird stuff like Wrecking Crew. He's always just going to show up and do a Mario thing. He's going to do a Wahoo.
That's true. You can always count on Jackie Chan to do a Wahoo.
And that's much more true than like Sonic. Sonic will spin, but like, will he do anything else that's really like consistent in that way? I'm not sure. So I think Mario's a good one.
Mario's always going to jump.
Phoenix Wright is my choice.
Explain.
Because he's always going to say objection, and he's always going to have some simmering sexual tension with his opposing prosecutor.
And he's always
How many games has he been in? Like 6, maybe?
Right.
Including cameos?
More than that. Definitely
It's-
more than that.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
like
think
probably
what
12,
sets
but-
Mario apart is that he's kind of like a multi-franchise star. He's not just the Mario
Yeah.
guy, he's the Mario Kart guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
the Mario
yeah.
Party guy, and he still brings the same energy to all of that. Whereas, Phoenix Wright is in Marvel versus Capcom?
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, he's a lawyer who can fight. So
I like Mario
Multi-talented.
for this. Like Mario can fight in Smash Bros.
Yeah.
I like Mario for this because he can kind of like he can sell anything, he can be in anything, and he's still Mario.
And if you had to hear him talk about a political issue, it would probably be pretty embarrassing.
It would probably be embarrassing and disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
no.
that's consistent as well.
Yeah.
He would definitely have a Snoop Dogg moment if he
Oh,
were
boy.
interviewed.
Mhm.
You
That-
I feel like Charles Martinet would, not necessarily Mario.
That's fair. I do kind of, I am kind of guilty of thinking of them as the same guy, which is probably why they fired him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
God.
boy.
All right.
Yeah, if they hadn't fired him, then Jaffe would like literally think that Mario died. When
Yeah. All right. It's time to go our lightning round. We're playing a game that I'm calling Trash Talk. In this game, you are playable characters in the new Sonic racing game, which has these little bits where like you can trash talk the other players like as you're starting a race or passing them. So I'm going to name another character who is in this game, and you're going to tell me like what your bark is at that character to take them down a peg. We will start with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Eat my chili dog.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wait,
All
so
right.
I am insulting Sonic the Hedgehog.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh.
We're
You're-
insulting Sonic? I thought we were
Yeah, you're
being the
no,
character.
you're insulting. You are the driver, and you're insulting Sonic.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I was trying to be Sonic there.
It still applies.
I loved you in Sonic 06.
Yeah. I
Hey,
was
where's
trying
your human girlfriend?
That's right. You can't kiss her because you have a particular dilemma
Yeah,
because you're a hedgehog.
there we go. Let's move on to Tails.
You should go faster.
How's
miles
that
per hour.
testicular torsion you probably have?
That's a good one.
Don't get your balls in a twist.
Yeah, Knuckles the Echidna.
It's time to punch down.
Yeah, that's not what an echidna looks like. I don't think you've ever seen
Michael
an
Jackson,
echidna.
I see
Yeah,
it.
Michael Jackson. I love your work.
You're so slow. Are
yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
My bark at Knuckles is to just crush an egg in front of him,
Mm.
which
Do
is
you not
kind
like
of
eggs?
violent. They lay eggs.
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot about that.
yeah. Dr. Eggman.
Crush an egg.
Crush
Yeah,
an
crush
egg.
an egg.
You can reuse it. Big the cat.
No,
throw
no,
a fish
he's
at him.
no, he's too nice. You leave
Throw
him
a
alone.
fish at him and be like, catch this if you even can. Because of the fishing minigame.
No, just catch me if you can.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's cute.
Pac-Man. Pac-Man is in this game.
I loved you in Secret Lair or Level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love these passive-aggressive ones.
Yeah.
I just started blinking at him really hard, and he
Yeah.
got PTSD because of Blinky the ghost.
That's a big stretch.
I'm trying.
I don't know. I don't know why.
I'm playing psychological games here, Frank.
I can't justify this, but I would just look at him and just do a jerking off motion and like, roll my eyes.
I think that would psych Pac-Man out.
Yeah, he'd be like,
What
does
is that? What am I supposed to make of this?
What if you just turned around, and looked at him really slowly, and put a bow on your head? It's your wife.
I'm trying to think of some kind of cuckolding joke I can make about Miss Pac-Man, and it's just not coming to me.
That's
Kind
fine.
of like Miss Pac-Man.
Hey,
Hey.
Joker
Nice.
from Persona 5 is in this game.
I loved you in Batman.
Yeah. If you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight, etc., you want to get nuts.
It'd be like, nobody played Persona 5 Tactica, bye.
I did, damn it, and I thought that was a good game.
Right.
I enjoyed it.
Minecraft Steve.
God, how it must feel terrible to be played by Jack Black, and I'm so
Yeah.
sorry for you.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like,
Say hi to
it's just like,
Notch.
I don't even want to.
Oh, that's devastating.
Yeah, you just pushed him right back into the candy room.
Hatsune Miku.
I love that you. I love your invention of Harry Potter. Good job.
Yeah.
Good. Nice work on that. Nice work on the
nice work on Harry
Half-Blood
Potter.
Prince. Yeah.
I would just put my hand through her projection.
Does anyone still know what Vocaloid is animoore?
Yeah, I have a lot more respect for Vocaloid now that AI is doing so much nonsense. Vocaloids are cool.
And finally, our last playable character, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Sponjo! I would throw a really foul-smelling liquid at him so he absorbs it.
Yeah.
I would brandish salt menacingly at him.
All right.
Man, you could make a mess on the ground and be like, clean it up. It's terrible.
Do you think he smells like when a kitchen sponge is just moldy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably smells crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's our game this week. Thank you for playing. I am giving the credit to Brandon, bringing him up to 3. You did a good job this week, Brandon. We got Brandon at 3, Ash at 3, Frank at 4. Anyone want to spend anything before we go on to recommendations?
Are you credit rubber banding us, Jaffe?
What do you mean?
Because Brandon's...
I'm getting all these credits lately.
Yeah,
I just feel bad for him because he's going through a hard time with his video game.
So yes.
He did a really good job on this episode, Ash. He earned this credit.
You can say you're credit rubber banding. It's fine. That doesn't take away from Brandon's accomplishment.
I
Give me that
deny
blue
it.
shell.
I completely deny it. Ash, would you like to argue for why you did a better job on this episode than Brandon Sheffield?
I would not.
I will hear your argument.
I'm not going to argue at all.
Okay, then Brandon gets the credit. We're moving on. Anyone have anything to recommend?
Yes, I do. First of all, check out the library. I'm just going to say that again. I said
Just
it earlier.
any
I'm going
library.
to say it again. Check out the library. It rules. Next, there's a movie I watched recently called Ferrat Vampire, which is a Czech horror-adjacent movie about a car that may or may not suck the blood of its drivers. But specifically, I want to recommend the Blu-ray that came out recently-ish because it's a really good example of doing Blu-ray extras very well. A lot of Blu-rays these days with their fancy editions have a booklet, and the booklet is often just somebody describing the movie. Sometimes there's some production information, but it's usually not actually that cool. But this time, they included the short story upon which the movie was based. I thought that was really neat. So you got to read that, and then there was a bunch of cultural context for it, because the movie is essentially a critique of Czechoslovakia under communism under the guise of a critique of extravagant capitalism. So that's how they kind of snuck it through. But then in the Blu-ray extras, there's also a TV movie based on another short story by the same author upon which that was based, and it deals with a lot of similar but also interesting issues, and you get to see what Czech TV looked like in 1992, which is just neat and weird. So I recommend that. It's a fun, decent movie, but all those extras, and anytime you include a whole extra movie on your Blu-ray, I'm there.
That sounds like that Blu-ray came out about 15 years ago when that was still a thing.
No, this was a couple months ago. I actually pre-ordered it and I got it like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it was really cool. People are doing more of that now. Just what can I grab that's related that doesn't cost a lot of money and is probably it's probably in some SD quality, because this was the TV movie was shot on video and everything. It doesn't take a lot of space on the disc. So yeah, there's the boutique Blu-ray creators are getting pretty cool.
Cool.
In my opinion. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
that's what I got.
My recommendation, if you want to humble yourself, go take a walk in a cemetery. But no, in general, cemeteries are great walk-in places. Don't bring your dog. I didn't bring mine. But if you want a really nice, quiet place where you can have a good walk and have interesting things to look at while you're on the walk, go to a cemetery. Which is what I did today for no reason other than the fact that my car was getting serviced nearby, and I walked to this. I think it's the oldest cemetery in Akron. It was established in 1890 something, Glendale Cemetery. and I'm just walking through and I'm looking at all like the cool vaults and mausoleums and all that kind of stuff, and didn't find any interesting people from Akron's history there, but whatever.
Well, there's nice. Actually this really cool statue there normally, but Carmen Sandiego stole it.
Thank you, Frank. I was about to get there. Actually, you got it.
There's a bell tower there that they have that's like was constructed in 1890s or whatever, and it was recently restored, so the bell still tolls. So she stole the bell. There you go.
Okay,
nice.
All right.
Yeah, I can second the cemetery recommendation. We went to a big cool one in Paris a while ago. There's a really nice one in Oakland, and they got the Chapel of the Chimes there, which is a really cool place. You can see all kinds of cool, weird names that people used to have.
Yeah,
people used to have all kinds of names.
It was actually really interesting that I was walking in the cemetery and I saw like the last name like Daoud, and I'm like, that's a Muslim last name, and like, okay, this must be like newer graves, but like, no, these people were like born in like the early 1900s and like died in like the 50s in Akron, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't have expected like a
Daoud here.
Muslim folk in Akron that early.
I'm always on the lookout for Sheffields out there. Sometimes you find them.
Why were you humbled by the cemetery?
Mortality. Complete, like straight up, like more like finding people who like died on my birthday, finding people who have like are my age that are already dead and like had kids and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, nice. And then it's also not as funny, but like an interesting metagame not metagame, but like you can kind of tell with some of these graves, you can kind of guess at how these people died, because like these are rough looking dudes that were only alive for like 20 years. And like, I guess the new thing for gravestones is to put your picture on the headstone. And you've got these really young looking guys that don't look the nicest, which I know, terrible, Ashley, terrible. But like, you're 22 years old, and like at the bottom of your inscription is like loyalty above all else. And I'm like, okay, yeah.
No, I know who that guy is.
Yeah, your friends paid for this one. Yeah. I can tell. Yeah. Like, ooh, okay. Yeah.
The Chicago way. Frank.
Exactly.
What you got?
Learn home row. Learn how to type. Helps
Learn home row. Check in with Mavis Beacon. I can endorse that. I'll sign off. I have some other recommendations. I'd like to recommend that you keep this show running with your patronage to patreon.com/insertcredit. It doesn't happen without you. You could leave us reviews. That helps in a less tangential but just as important way. You could sponsor our show with an advertisement or personal message by emailing me at show@insertcredit.com. You could also join our community at forums.insertcredit.com or find us on youtube.com/insertcreditshow. Look out for Demon School on its new release date in November. November.
It's
right?
November.
It's November.
Yeah.
Subscribe to The Verge and check out the Video Game History Foundation. This episode is edited by Esper Quinn with music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Alex Jaffe.
I'm Frank Cifaldi.
I'm Ash Parrish.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
And your game has now been saved. There has been some talk about going away from the rotating buzzers because people are getting kind of sick of it. I was thinking maybe we could talk to Kurt about getting us just like a sound effect we could use.
Yeah. Okay. I'll send him a message. I wonder if we could have him do like a pleasant guitar squeal or something.
I'm going to have to stop calling it horrible, but that's fine.
Delightful.
You can have that opinion.
Yeah. A horribly pleasant. That's good. I'm going to get sick of that. I could start saying our trademark buzzer. I wouldn't hate that.
Sure.
Yeah. Esper suggested permanently switching to Squadala, and I like that idea, but not permanently.
Yeah, and also I think it's probably better for it to be something that nobody could necessarily copyright strike us on.
Well, we got
just
other
like
stuff
Game Over, right?
We got other
like
stuff,
Game Over,
but nobody's copyright
which we
stricken
invented, by the way.
Which we invented. No, I know. I'm aware that. I'm just saying, if we're gonna add more things,
I'm always using Sonic stuff. It's fine.
We could slow it down. Squaddle.
I would be very happy if we had a new custom buzzer,
a custom Feldman.
We could do a ridiculous during the break.
Yeah.
We could do a Squadala. We're off. and then a squadala, and we're back. Because I think he says both of those things.
You know, I do not hate that idea.
I told
into the break.
Yeah, into the break.
no.
That one really got Jaffe.
That is so funny. I love how stupid that is. No, we gotta do that. We gotta do that.
Okay.